Hi, welcome to my channel. You look great. Well, I'm going to start off with just a quick routine video. My morning routine when I'm ready to get out the door. Pretty basic. SPF, protection, a little bit of antioxidant, moisture, and I'm out the door. So here we go. I start off with my Paula's Choice Perfectly Balanced Foaming Cleanser. It's a creamy, foamy cleanser that doesn't strip you dry. It'll still get off stubborn SPF. You can use it as a single cleanse, but it also works as a second cleanse if you're doing a double cleanse method. I'll use it with my Foreo Mini Luna 2 just to get an extra deep clean because it feels a little bit more satisfying to me. So I pat my face dry, no rubbing, just so as to not irritate the skin. And now I'm ready for my toner. I use an Essence toner. It is my Real Ferment Micro Essence from NEOGEN. I love this stuff. If you've seen my other videos, I use it obsessively. I put just a little bit in. It's a water light toner. So I use my Essence toner as that prep step that just keeps your skin hydrated, helps it absorb serums a little bit better, helps it just prepare for the rest of your skincare routine. And this one in particular does a great job of brightening and keeping blotchiness and uneven skin tone down. I just find that I can't live without it. Especially during the winter months, I maybe even throw on a couple extra skins or layers of it to keep extra hydration in, and then I can lock it all in with a moisturizer with more emollients and occlusives to really keep that hydration in all day long. For my antioxidant protection, I use Schaf's Radiance Firming Serum. This is another water light serum, just like that. This is a fairly mild vitamin C serum. I don't know that they actually tell you the specific percentage, but it has hyaluronic acid, niacinamide, vitamin C, and peptides, which is just a powerhouse combination, and they leave out a lot of the extras. That's pretty much all that's in there. This serum is a great daytime serum because it has a pretty mild vitamin C. It's ascorbic acid, so the gold standard in vitamin C's. My skin tends to be a little bit more irritable, and vitamin C's are always a tricky subject for me, but this tends to do a great job. I've never had any issues with it, and most days I use it twice a day. So that keeps me protected during the day and helps repair at nighttime. The hyaluronic acid in it helps keep moisture in my skin as opposed to evaporating out into the universe. Also plumps up fine lines and wrinkles in some of the higher traffic areas. Niacinamide is a B vitamin that is amazing for kind of across the board anti-aging and overall skin health. It helps with dark spots, fine lines and wrinkles. It actually helps with folks who are more prone towards water loss like eczema and atopic dermatitis and even rosacea. It just helps retain that moisture in deeper layers of skin and helps minimize redness and irritation. So overall, this is a powerhouse serum. I'm able to layer things on top of it if necessary. It's great for summertime as well. When I don't want a whole lot of heavy layers on, I'm able to just throw that on, throw a little bit of SPF with moisture on, and get out the door. Now that that's had a chance to absorb, I'm gonna move on to my moisturizer. Because it's winter in Colorado, I do use a moisturizer and moisturizing SPF, but during the summer, I just skip the moisturizing step. My moisturizer of choice right now is the Shaf moisturizer. It also has a little bit more hyaluronic in it, peptides, and shea butter. It's a nice kind of whipped texture. Very lightweight, even for oilier skin types, it's great. And for drier skin types, you'll appreciate the amount of moisture that it has. I know there's always the question of whether to use an eye cream or not. I personally don't use an eye cream In my daily routine, if I have a little bit of puffiness or if my eyes are looking a little bit more tired, I do use an eye serum at night. Otherwise, I'm of the mindset that my overall skincare is balanced and gentle enough that I'm able to bring it all the way up underneath my eyes and even over around the top of the orbital bone. Skin is skin. As long as we're a little bit more gentle to this under eye area, it has the same concerns for me as the rest of my skin. Moving into my 30s, I am a little bit more aggressive about anti-aging. Not that I don't want to age, just that I want to make sure that I kind of atone for the things that I did when I was younger. I definitely use tanning beds and spend too much time out in the sun. I was on Accutane for acne when I was younger, and in that time period and before that especially, I would do anything to try to dry out pimples, so I really did some damage to my skin. And that's why I want to be a little bit more aggressive about putting back those reparative ingredients, using the retinols, using exfoliators, things like that to really kind of soften the blow of what I did as a kid. Especially through these higher traffic areas, I still have some acne scars, and it's made me a little bit more prone towards fine lines and wrinkles in that area because the skin was just damaged and had a lot more to repair. So with my skin all nice and hydrated and ready to go, I will use one of 2 sunscreens most days, just depending on how my skin feels and what I'm doing with the rest of the day. One is a Korean sunscreen. It is the Biore Aqua Rich Watery Essence. There are a number of different types of the Biore sunscreens, so take a look through. They each have different textures, but all of them work pretty well, and they do have the PA+++, which is the highest level of UVA protection, which is really what I'm most concerned about. As long as you're doing your 30 to 50 for an SPF, you're getting that good UVB protection. UVA is really where you get the damage to your skin that's visible, the photoaging. When you're thinking of hiding from the sun during those peak hours of 10 to 3 during the day, or the sunny days, that's really UVB at its highest. UVA penetrates clouds, some levels of glass, and it's a little bit more omnipresent. We need to be worried about protecting ourselves from UVA a little bit more, just because of the incidental exposure being a lot higher and more frequent than it is with UVB. The 4 pluses on the Biore get me really good UVA protection. I hope sometime in the future the US adopts a system that at least tells us how much UVA protection we're getting, because as it stands, UV protection products only need to meet a minimum standard of UVA protection to get the broad spectrum requirement that the FDA currently requires. But we don't know how high that is in any particular product, unless it has a PA with the pluses rating or a PPD rating, which gives you a numerical scale for that UVA protection. Most days I use the EltaMD UV Elements. It's an SPF 44. It's a titanium and zinc, so mineral sunscreen, which I use more frequently just because it has a little bit of a tint to it, and I like that kind of evened out glow that it gives me. It's also a little bit hydrating, whereas the Biore Aqua Rich isn't drying, but it certainly doesn't add any moisture to my skin, and I tend to be a little bit drier through my beard line, so I just want to help it out with any moisture that I can through the winter. So that's the tint. It generally blends into all skin tones. Darker skin tones may have a little bit more trouble with it, but it's a lot better than having that gray cast or that purple cast from truly mineral sunscreen. So I use about 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon for my face and neck. Something to be cautious about with SPF in your foundation is you're using about 1 pump, usually a very small amount of foundation, especially a fuller coverage foundation, to cover your entire face, versus the amount of product that is used in a test for the SPF is going to be 1/4 teaspoon to cover the entire face. There's a particular level of grams of product per square millimeter of coverage that they use to test an accurate SPF rating. If you're only using 1 pump or a few dots worth of foundation to cover your entire face, you're getting nowhere near the SPF written on the label. So use a dedicated SPF or something that you feel comfortable using a full 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon for face of coverage. That ensures that you're getting the SPF indicated on the label. I'm just gonna put on a little bit more. I was a little skimpy. I'll bring it down through my neck and over the tops of my ears as well. And a little bit on the backs of my hands. Of course, who wants dark spots on their hands? And that's it. I'll finish doing my hair and I'll be out the door. Don't forget to subscribe, hit those notifications. Let me know what your daytime routine looks like. Are there any of these products that you've tried and enjoyed? Is there something that I should try out next? I'll see you next on Shirtless Saturdays. Don't forget, you look great.